Right, for the second time for me, because I somehow accidentally skipped the cutscene. Maybe I pressed scroll lock to mute my microphone because I had to cough. And I reckon maybe that skipped it. So we're going to watch this again. For me, it's not really again for you, is it? Unless you've seen it before.
Ruin has come to our family. You remember our venerable house? Opulent and imperial, gazing proudly from its stoic perch above the moor. I lived all my years in that ancient, rumor-shadowed manor, fattened by decadence and luxury. And yet I began to tire of conventional extravagance. Singular, unsettling tales suggested the mansion itself was a gateway to some fabulous and unnameable power. With relic and ritual, I bent every effort towards the excavation and recovery of those long-buried secrets, exhausting what remained of our family fortune on swarthy workmen and sturdy shovels. At last, in the salt-soaked crags beneath the lowest foundations, we unearthed that damnable portal of antediluvian evil. Our every step unsettled the ancient earth. But we were in a realm of death and madness. In the end, I alone fled laughing and wailing through those blackened arcades of antiquity, until consciousness failed me. You remember our venerable house, opulent and imperial. It is a festering abomination. I beg you, return home, claim your birthright, and deliver our family from the ravenous, clutching shadows of the darkest dungeon.
So yes, one part of that intro cinematic that I don't like is the gunshot sound. I don't know. Right, options, graphics. I haven't played this on PC before. I know what I'm doing in terms of like what gameplay wise. Shouldn't need subtitles. I have tutorials enabled because it will remind me of things that I need to explain, although I'll probably be skipping them. Turn this off because it's hideous. That's everything. Right. Darkest Dungeon. We're going to be playing on Radiant mode because it's sort of easier, but it's not easier as in like enemies hit for less damage or anything. It's this is kind of the normal one. This is you essentially much less grindy, so it takes way less time because you get more experience. Heroes get more experience, but I think the game difficulty gets higher, ramps up faster. So essentially everything's just quicker, and you can take more experienced heroes on lower dungeons, which means losing heroes is less of a pain to train them up again. So we'll be on Radiant. I can't hold down backspace to delete multiple characters. Fluffy. I think we've got another cutscene.
You will arrive along the old road. It winds with a troubling, serpent-like suggestion through the corrupted countryside, leading only, I fear, to ever more tenebrous places. There is a sickness in the ancient, pitted cobbles of the old road, and on its writhing path, you will face viciousness, violence, and perhaps other damnably transcendent terrors. So steel yourself, and remember there can be no bravery without madness. The old road will take you to hell, but in that gaping abyss, we will find our redemption.
Right. Yes. We have to make the journey to the hamlet on foot. What is... Oh. Yeah. Just stuff under my chair that I was kicking. Space or click to continue. Right, map navigation. How do I move this? Right click. Okay. Wow, W or A and D to move sideways. Right click on them. Can I get rid of it? Yes, escape. As remember, I haven't played this on PC, so I don't know what the controls are. Right. Scroll to zoom. Okay, fair enough. Right, we are here. We're in a room. There are corridors between rooms. We need to move to this room.
Brigands have run up these lanes.
I should explain.
Keep to the side
Yes.
path. The hamlet is just
Oh, you can
ahead.
click. Okay. Torchlight. So here, currently, we have more dodge, more scouting chance, and more chance to surprise the monsters. You can use torches to increase your torch. As it gets lower, you get... monsters essentially get buffs. So your dodge goes down. You get more stressed. This is stress here. It's irrelevant at the moment. More likely to be surprised, but you also get more loot, so there is a benefit to it. Right,
This path
combat.
is dug in brutal fashion, that all may hear of your arrival.
Combat is turn-based, so the way it works is they have a speed stat. Sorry. If anyone's played Dungeons and Dragons, it works basically the same as initiative in Dungeons and Dragons. It rolls a die for each unit in the fight, and then it adds their speed stat, and then it goes from highest to lowest. You can have up to 4 abilities equipped. Generally you would have 4, because I can't think of any reason why you'd want to only have 3, because they will start with 4, and you might as well have them even if you never use them. So as you see the white there, which slots you can use it from. There are 4 slots, I only have 2 people. And then on the right is which ones it can hit, and then there are all sorts of stats about it. Can't use this, so we're just going to open vein on this guy. Down here, he's got bleed resist, 20%, and the base is 100%, so he has an 80% chance to bleed. The way... I don't need to use that. The way chance to hit works, which is 83% there, is to your accuracy, which is base 85 for this, minus their dodge, which is 2, which is 83 obviously, and it can't go higher than 90% chance to hit. And the crit chance, I think it's just base crits 5. There we go. Yes, loot. Loot takes up inventory
Remind
slots.
yourself that overconfidence is a slow and insidious killer.
It's going to tell me about curios. Yes, I don't want to interact with that, for reasons that shall become clear.
An ambush. Send these
Oh,
with a
surprising.
rare
Nice.
message. The rightful owner has
Right.
returned,
You are going to use
and
tracking
their
shot,
kind is no longer welcome.
which gives you a buff for the entire battle. Does less damage. Does much less damage though. You could use Bulwark of Faith, gives you more protection, and also marks him, which will kind of draw enemy attacks to him, and some attacks will do more damage to him. But what's your stun resist? 50. Could try for a stun. Let's use this. Which also gives me increase my torch. But that these both last for the whole battle. That's horrible. Punishment. Bleed, I think. And stress, probably. Stress. It's going to tell me about bleeding. Oh no. Now, we want to kill this dude at the back, because the tank will take ages to kill, and then this guy keeps shooting us. Whereas if we kill this guy, he then obviously is dead. So you see he took 0 protection, plus 25 protection, so damage is reduced by 25%. Which is nice. And marked, in theory, means they're more likely to attack him. Oddly, I don't know if AoE attacks roll individually for each target, because they... Corpses, yes. When monsters die, the AoE... you seem to get very often... they will miss all of them or none of them. It's much rarer. They're much more likely to miss all of them than to miss, like, some of them. Yes, a couple of things I need to say. Corpses... the corpse just takes up a slot. Enemies killed through blight or bleed damage don't leave a corpse, and if you get killed with a crit, they don't leave a corpse. There are a couple of enemies that don't leave corpses, and a couple of attacks that don't leave corpses. You can kill corpses, or you can clear them with some attacks. His attack pushed this dude Reynolds backwards, so he's now in the second spot, which isn't too bad for him, but it might be a bit of a problem for Dismas here. You always start with these two, and they always have these skills. He's bleeding, but his point blank shot debuffs him. Curiously, the highwayman can get an ability called point blank shot, which is similar but isn't the same. Oddly. Right, let's get some stuff. Right. Oh, default part. I can't put default party order. Right. Now, this, but no, it's always trapped. So Control Shift click.
And now, the darkness holds dominion.
Snuff the torch. Then we do this because you get more stuff for having plus loot. So you get more stuff because you have low light, but because you don't have any torches at that point, there you got an achievement. In my experience, that's the way to do it. You fight them with high light so you can try and surprise them, and so you don't get stressed out and just everything falls apart if that happens. But then you go back and do it. So yeah, they're both leveled up. He's now a Warren's phobe, so he gets more stress in the Warrens, but more healing skills while camping. We haven't had camping yet. Be a while before we do. I'll explain when it happens. Right.
Welcome home, such as it is. This squalid hamlet.
We need to do all of this stuff.
Lands, they are yours now. And
I haven't done. I've done everything except these four. On my iPad. Sort by level. So various we've got graveyard, which is obviously a graveyard. Nobody's died. Oh, I got an achievement. I got an achievement for visiting the graveyard. There's nobody there though. Do I get an achievement for going here? No.
You will know the tragic extent of my fate.
This is just stuff that you found and kind of voice line, cutscene stuff. Can do right. Stagecoach. So here we recruit new heroes. What do you have? You have Noxious Blast. Good. Do you have? Oh, that's a really, really bad set of abilities. So they're randomised which abilities they have, although I believe that they are guaranteed. I think vessels are guaranteed to have Divine Grace because they're one of the two like healer classes. I prefer the other one. You always start with a vessel and a Plague Doctor, who always has Plague Grenade. I like Noxious Blast. Sometimes they have Incision instead, but I prefer Noxious Blast. You, on the other hand, these two can only be used from the front two, and these two can only be used from the back two slots. So essentially, wherever I put you, you suck. Although obviously I'm going to be putting you at one of the back two slots because you need to be able to heal. That's literally your purpose. And Judgment is good as well. And Mace Bash is... I mean, essentially... we want to get both of these. Upgrade Stagecoach Network. Twice. Just need to get more stuff than I do on iPad. Or maybe... no, it's because I got some deeds. Sort by level. I can also sort them the other way if I want. And I'd be able to scroll, it'd be amazing. I won't have to tap on the down button. Can't do anything else, everything else is locked. Don't have any trinkets. Embark.
A mecca of madness.
Christmas parties. Right, this one.
Your work begins.
This is the usual suspects. I often prefer Red Hook. And that's good cop, bad cop. Yeah, some of the parties have names. We're doing that because you don't have point blank shot. Don't usual suspects or Red Hook. You don't. Doesn't matter for you, and it doesn't matter for you. I want Red Hook just because I prefer the name. Right, go to the darkest dungeon. No, that would be a terrible idea. Right. Yes. So we need to take torches for a short. I would take 8 torches and 12 food because I over provisioned in food. couple of it says shovels, but looking at them, they are in fact spades. I will probably sometimes call them shovels, and sometimes remember to call them spades. But it annoys me because that's not that's a spade. Shovel has like vertical sides, and usually a flat end. Shovel is for moving stuff. Spades for digging. Don't need any of that. I don't need that much. That should do. The Holy Water Crusader gives you a Holy Water. The Plague Doctor gives you anti-venom, so I can't sell it. Anti-venom from the Plague Doctor. Should be everything. So of course you have to buy the provisions before you go. Bandages you will cure bleed. Anti-venom will cure blight. The anti-venom is useless in the ruins. As you know, there might be. You can sometimes get enemies from other areas. But right, this is always the same map, and it's always like basically the same layout as well. Worth noting, this guy is kleptomaniac, so he will steal stuff. So there are quirks as well. He's always a known cheat. Warren's verb, we had that. They're pretty good. Warrior of Light. Warrior of Light's nice. More damage if you've got High Torch. Like Virtue Chance, that's not relevant yet. That's no, yes, good. More damage against humans. You hate mankind. I'm not sure we want you in our party then. You also get more stress if the you do less damage, and you get more stress if the torch is high. Oh dear. You're just really bad, aren't you, in general? Oh well. Oh, that's nice. Obsessed with Sainthood, -5 accuracy. Obsessed with Sainthood is not too bad. There are some that force them to interact with curios. The only bad one is Kleptomaniac. Because they can steal the stuff that they get. Take the torch. I'm not going to try and snuff it. Because it will use them from this way, so it's not using from this stack instead of that stack. Press W. You can press T to do torches, but that's just out of the way because I've got my fingers on WASD. New tracking shot. Let's get the buff. Skeletons. You can't bleed them. I mean, you can in theory, but they essentially can't. 4 damage per round, so he'll be on something. Zealous Accusation hits both, but it does less damage. Unlock Strongbox. You can put items on here. There is no item to use on a unlock Strongbox. I know most of them. Well, I know a lot of them. Right. This is what the spades are called. If you don't have one, you have to do it by hand. So as the light went down as you got here. You need to die because you will deal stress damage. Dodge it. Oh, fine. And it also reduces the light. Judgment heals you. And interestingly, I should talk about stress. Stress, they build up over time. They start with 20 stress because they're level 0 in a level 1 dungeon. Some enemies will deal stress damage. If your stress gets to 100, 100's the max, then it goes around again. Bad stuff happens essentially. Crits will okay, you're dead. So she's dead because she's got 1 health and is going to take 4 damage per round. So I don't need to worry about her.
The way is lit. The path is clear. We require only the strength to
What was I
follow
just
it.
saying? Oh yes, stress. When a hero kills an enemy, that will minus 15% damage on that. So this does less damage, but it can hit. It does more damage against marked targets and does more damage towards the back. But this also does bleed, but the bleed's irrelevant for skeletons because they have 200% bleed resist. Although if you debuff their bleed resist enough, you could, in theory, bleed them.
Unforgiving.
Could Noxious Blast him? It would kill him.
Their formation is
Which means he doesn't get to attack.
maintain the offensive.
I could have used Zealous Accusation to get both. Yeah. If a hero kills an enemy, that will usually heal them for 3 stress. Normally. Only if they kill them with like, their actual attack. You are useless.
Confidence
So this should
surges
probably
as the enemy crumbles.
stress in. Yeah, 3. If they get a crit, if one of your heroes gets a crit,
Success so clearly in view. Or is it merely
it will stress heal
of the
your
light?
entire part. It will stress heal them for like 7 or something. I don't know what the exact number is. And then it has a chance to stress heal every other member of the party. If an enemy gets a crit, it stresses out like all of your people, and is just generally a pain. Oh, sorry about that. Anyway, where was I? Oh, yeah, scouting. It shows you what's there. Obviously, we're going to go this way. Explore 90% of rooms, which means we can skip 1. I don't know what the numbers are, but you can skip 1 because it's a short mission. Medium missions, you generally can skip 2. Long missions, it's sometimes 2 and sometimes 3. Oh yeah, this one's a treasure. This one's a curio, so the treasure would be better, almost certainly. And it'd be better to do this because then we don't. If we just go like that, then we don't have to backtrack or anything at all. What's worth noting is that I was kind of trying to let if the light had gone below this marker, essentially radiant, dim, shadowy, dark, and then if it's 0, it's black as pitch. So you see it goes down, and then it doesn't say it, but you do get more loot. So for the curio, you kind of want it to go down just below, because then you might get a bit more loot. Right. It's nice. How much do I have to do? 5. It'd probably give me a stress tutorial at some point. It's worth noting that many of my party setups and like strategies of what moves I use are from a lot of time playing the game. Now you're now dead. I was saying, so your crit chance is down here. This has crit mod, so it does has bigger crit chance. Heals, so his bleed resist is only 180%. So in theory, if I got it down below the bleed chance, I could bleed him. Heals roll for crits differently. They roll. It's irrelevant of this, and I don't know what they have a flat. Bandaging. So I can use bandage. Right click. There's a flat crit chance on heals across the board, I believe. I don't know what it is. If a heal crits, use a key on this. If a heal crits, it heals, reduces the stress of the unit that was being healed. Interestingly, judgment on the vessel. You have the highest chance to disarm the trap, so you do it. Stress heal for 8. Yes. The damage on judgment and the self heal roll for crit independently, so you can get a crit on one and not the other. Oh, you kleptomaniac's doing well. Usually he will have stolen something by this point.
Measure, awarded to the brave and the foolhardy alike.
Ah, hunger. Just we're going along. They got hunger in there to eat. Scouting. I do need to keep your stress low in case I don't get a healer in the stagecoach. So ideally I'd like to get a healer. Right, if you do this, you take damage, the torch goes down, and everybody gets stressed. So take spades. They're very, very much worth it. So for this, we're going to snuff the torch because it's the end of the dungeon. And we might as well. There's no reason not to. We'll completely put out the light. So again, this guy needs to go. He's the highest priority target because he will stress me out. And damage is irrelevant. As long as you don't die, it doesn't really matter because you get fully healed immediately at the end of a dungeon. Like you always go into dungeons with full health. But stress, you have to pay to get rid of stress. You can't hit anything. But he goes. So now he's dead. So now I'm attacking him. Crit. So that was. I didn't even stress heal anybody else. That's 3 to 5 heal. Much for the other one. The other healer. So again, oh, crit. Crit for 1. So that stress healed him. We kill this guy first, because this guy will take longer. So I think, yeah, so he's shoved me back. That was a stun. But, can move forwards, because you can't heal from that spot. And I want you to heal. Oh, I can't remember. I think I was saying something. Oh yeah, you don't focus the tank. Not again. Oh, now he's stunned, which is works fairly sensibly.
A death by inches.
We will continue adventuring.
Secrets and wonders can be found in the most tenebrous corners of this place.
Don't need the holy water. Usually it gives you a buff. Hey, 2 achievements. 2 achievements? I don't know what the other one was for. So you always level up. You always get to level 1. War of Light. Fear of Unholy. Nobody needs stress healing, which is nice. I should get like 4 new heroes in the stagecoach.
Let me share with you
Severe
the
negative
terrible
quirks.
wonders I have come to know.
So that's first. So they get locked in. They take loads of extra money to be removed. Also, when they can only hold 5 in each side, once they get beyond that, new ones will replace old ones. So tavern, you go here for stress relief.
Cards and
This dude will always be in one of them, meaning you can't put them in there. It does cost money. So if they're bar, gambling hall, and a brothel, and then you can go here.
The cobwebs have been dusted.
So essentially, because he's a known cheat, you can't. Wait, he says they're false allegations. So you won't go in there as well. Yes, he will only pray. That he always says that. Some of them are positive, like some of them they just heal more stress in a certain one. But oh, I have a trinket. It's not very good, but I have one. Stagecoach. Right.
A sister of battle, pious and unrelenting.
I will get the maximum. You can hold 30 heroes. And there are 15 classes because I don't have the DLC. So that's 2 of each. Except I only want. There are 2 of the classes where only one of them will have an extra vessel and an extra one of the other healers, because you always need healers. Right. I mean, I can't go in there. I can't go in there. Should be everything. Right, now we need to do something else here. Is there a medium? Deeds. You always need deeds. What's that? Meh. It's not worth it. That's alright. But we'll do the medium one because I want to do a medium one. Hellion or Leper? I really like the Hellion. The Leper's also pretty sweet. I think you're the only person who can really go. No, you can go in the second slot. I mean, second the Wait, what do you have? Intimidate. What do you have? Oh, you don't have Iron Swan. I want Iron Swan because it's sweet. That'll work. Take 2 healers. No, that doesn't seem like a smart idea. You have a slightly better loadout. You have... Meh. You don't have judgment though, do you? You have mace bash. You do have both heals though. Where's the unequippable trinkets? Sort by rarity. Move skill chance. You don't have a move. Wait, no. Is Intimidate a move skill? No. You have one. Do you have it? Yes. So you will have this. Yeah. So we have camping here. This is a medium mission. Is anybody a stress eater? You're a stress eater. Of course you're a stress eater. Just take the extra food, I can afford it. That'll do. Yeah, stress eater means that above 50 stress, they'll eat twice as much food. In all ways. Like in any situation where they eat food. Except when you just feed them food just to heal them. You can heal them with food. For 90% of rooms. Well, I'm gonna go here and then just go along the line. I should be able to skip 2. So alright, let's explain those classes. Hellion? Oh, I don't know. I want to get out. I don't want to do the one that we get second because it hurts. Hellion. Normally I'd go for the front and do this one that smacks the person at the back, which is very, very useful. A lot of the Hellion's abilities will debuff herself. I should put in the front for bleed out, maybe. It does more damage. But the bleed's not useful here. I wrote Yorp as a stun. Stuns the front 2 people. She also does quite a bit of damage. So there you go, crit heal or stress heal. Stress heal the recipient. The leper does a lot of damage, but is only really you want them to be in the front. They can operate from the second spot, but I prefer there are just a couple of trinkets that you want them in front really. Because he's in the second spot, he can't do his normal attack. He can only do the bayonet jab, which is much less threatening. Debuffs dodge. Right, you don't need to attack him, so you just withstand. Just stress heal yourself. Where? This is a journal page. I can't be bothered to read it. Like, I'm not going to read it out. I guess I'll open it, and if you want, you can pause the video or something. There you go. If you want to read it, you can pause the video while it's open and read it.
A fortune waiting to be spent.
There you go, there's an arm. Torture goes down by 6 every cell. Unless you're going over places that you've already been, in which case it goes down by 1 every cell. Also, in my experience, you seem to get more hunger events while going over places you've already been. The only reason I can think of is that you're travelling, like, non-stop. You're walking without, like, breaking to look at curios and stuff. There's nothing here. Can I can. I can press W. If I hold down W, what happens? I do immediately go into the door. That might allow me to cheat secret rooms, but I doubt it. Oh, I want a secret room. Don't touch the books. You can burn the books with the torch, and then that sends them. That gives they get 100 stress if you burn the books. So there is like a strategy where you try and do that, and I mean there is a strategy that involves doing that. But you have if it bleeds.
Devastating blow.
So if it bleeds, will hit that
As the fiend
person. So
falls,
he won't bleed them, but it will hit.
hope blossoms.
Intimidate.
Another one falls.
Just a lot of damage. He has low accuracy. The Necro. You're probably gonna have to go have some stress heal. Blight the corpse. You can't Iron Swan. You loot you can.
The match is struck. A blazing
I love the.
star
I
is
do like the
born.
animation for that. I say animation. It's. The Hellion has very. The Hellion tends to die because the Hellion doesn't have very much health.
The slow death.
She's not.
Foreseen.
She's a melee character, but she's not a tank. So there is a part to heal. It heals for like 1 to 2.
Continue the onslaught. Destroy them all.
Go back to default. Don't go in there. Yeah. It's not worth going in there because it's like always, it's almost always bad. Again, 50, 60, 50, 70.
Watch your
Oh, wait,
step.
99 stress. Looks like we're going to get to see what happens when you get to 100 stress. Doesn't it? That'll heal you some stress. How many torches have I got left? Oh, I've got loads. It's a good job you're not the stress eater. Yeah, that'll do. Gives you plus 20% damage until you camp. If you use holy water, it's plus 30%. Use key to unlock it. You can use a spade and smash it. Right. Ditch those. You have to bring them back to the hamlet in order to, and then you can keep them. But if it doesn't matter. They don't actually do anything. So, like, I'll take them back if I have space. But as soon as I run out of inventory space, I'll just ditch them. I should have kept the torch low. So that I could potentially have got something else from this. See, now I can hold this one. There you go. So you're kind of, I think you're kind of supposed to camp halfway through,
If only treasure could staunch the flow.
like to
Otherworldly corruption.
relieve. You can heal and relieve stress when you're camping. I'm gonna do it at the end. Like, there's a Twitch streamer whom I watch
The
who
light, the
plays this
promise
game,
of
and he,
safety.
like, from what he does, I'm like, I've kind of, to a certain extent, taken pointers from him. Oh, great. So this guy reckons we have too much stuff in our inventory. This would be great. Great start. Second mission, collector. No, third mission. Right, he's a right pain. As you can see, he has 70 health. That's a man-at-arms.
Confidence surges as the enemy
They don't need corpses.
The ground quakes.
I should probably be killing the vessel, because vessel can heal. Ah! That's stress damage, but we dodged it. That can do a lot of damage. Oh no, you're going to heal yourself. No, it is the heal. They have a heal and a buff. Please dodge it again. Oh, fine. You just didn't take any stress damage. Because you're above such things, I guess. Well, this doesn't look like it's going to go too badly. He says, and then immediately it starts going really badly. Obviously crit heals also do heal for more. It's just stun resist 50. How much damage are you taking? Oh. The party does roll for crit independently on each person. So he's dead if he doesn't get healed. No, he's not. Now he is. Ouch. So I don't need to attack the collector, because I know he'll die.
As the ghoulish collection scatters, the rats prepare to feast.
Right. Collector also gives you unique trinkets.
Press disadvantage. Give them no quarter.
Oh, or he gives puzzling trapezohedrons, which are worth a lot of money. I haven't got anywhere to put it. 10 of them. They will remove debuffs. And they will activate that. That, you put a torch on it, and it gives you full light. Unfortunately, each torch gives you 25, so if you have radiant light, it's not worth it, because you actually get less efficiency out of the torch. These dudes might inflict blight. Or maybe it's stress damage and a stun. Yes. And possibly disease. I think it rolls for disease. Thank you.
Back to the pit.
We used to buy lepers doing more damage than this. And you get them trinkets, so they just casually crit for 44 in one shot, like the enormous dudes.
Darkness closes in, haunting the hearts of men.
What?
As the light gains purchase,
I think the game has crashed.
and purpose is made clear.
Oh, tab switches between them. I think the game has crashed. Yeah. Well, I'm going to end this video here. It does autosave all the time because so that you can't go back. So I'll be like just before I open the cabinet probably. So I'll just do the same thing again. If it crashes again, then I'll probably use a spade on it to see if that crashes it as well. But no. And also, I'm at 44 minutes, 45, so I'll end this video here. Goodbye.